Okay, welcome back to the Passion with Purpose podcast, everybody. I'm your host, Nate Chansky. I'm very excited today because I have two amazing people who are with us today, Kristi and Vic. And Kristi and Vic are a team who do weddings together, and they are here telling us about their story. So without further ado, I just want you guys to introduce yourselves a little bit. Tell us what you do, what state you do it from, how long you guys been doing it, and yeah, just introduce yourselves.
Go for it.
Well, we're Kristi and Vic. We're, like Nate mentioned, a husband and wife team. We have been shooting weddings together for 13 years.
Woo.
And we are based in around Palm Beach, Florida, but we are also serving the Charlotte, North Carolina area. So we could say we have like two home bases now. But really, we're in Florida, and we serve the most amazing couples here in the area. And it's been such a blessing to be able to do what we do together.
So cool. I absolutely love to hear it, you guys. So you've been doing it for a while, and you still like
Yes.
it.
Oh, yes.
You still love it.
Yeah.
Yes,
We do.
we do. We really do.
Amazing. Absolutely love that. So tell us a little bit of background on your story, kind of how you got into this industry, what drew you to it in the first place. Just some details to attach us to, like, how'd Kristi and Vic come to be?
Yeah. Well, it actually first started with me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was in 2009, I believe. Yes, that's when I first picked up a camera. Just to get better pictures, I guess, of families and us. And then within months, I just fell in love with it.
Yeah.
So I went on YouTube. I went on different wherever I could find like any type of courses or anything. That's
There
where I
weren't
went, and
courses back then.
there was very few, and more like those more traditional, old school photography, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
So it was, but I was so hungry that I was just every day there trying to learn, practicing and stuff. So that's how that started.
Yeah.
But then it was after we got married that she started coming along, and what was it? A friend of ours, right?
A friend of ours went ahead and said, "Hey, like, you're home on weekends by yourself and all these days while he's shooting." And at that time, I was teaching full time. I was an elementary school teacher, and I would just be, at home. And our friend was like, "Hey, do you want to borrow my camera and like see if you like it too?" And I was like, "Sure, like, why not? Like, let's try." Because I saw the passion in him, and I was like, maybe I'll like it a lot too. And I got like a 2-week crash course. Like, he taught me. He was like, "All right, this is how you shoot a manual." And like, I took one good picture at like a session, and I was like, "I'm a photographer." I was like, I made it, like one picture in focus. But I was like, I love this. This is so great. Like, how fun. And that was just a session. And then we kept practicing. Not me at the time. He was already, knew what he was doing more. I just kept going to shoots with him, practicing. And then in December of 2012 was when we shot our first wedding together as like a husband and wife team. And I absolutely like fell in love with everything having to do with weddings and the whole day and, all of that. And that's kind of how Kristi and Vic was born, essentially.
That's how it started. It was in 2013, right? That
we like incorporated like 2 months
that's
later,
when
I
we
think.
became Kristi and Vic, because
Yes.
before it was just my name.
Yes.
But then we became Kristi and Vic officially to 2013.
Yeah.
Yes.
Beginning of 2013.
I love that. I also love, can I just say, I love your brand name, that it's just Kristi and Vic. It's so clean and clear, and people know you
just
as
us.
those names. And it's just like, that's what our brand name is. I love it when couples do that, or even when singles do that. And it's just like, it's very clear. Okay. So I'd love to know, you guys joined my business blueprint, and
Yes.
I want to know why, like what brought you to it? You had probably been in the industry for so long. What was the reason that you wanted to take that type of a step? What prompting did you have? Anything like that?
Yeah. So back around, I want to say around 2020, I want to say it was like after COVID.
Yeah.
We just kind of like
Lost our
lost
mojo.
our, yes. We
Little
just
bit.
kind of like, I don't know if
We
it
also
was
had kids.
we had our first daughter.
Yeah.
And then from there, that plus COVID, we kind of like just lost ourselves, I guess you can say. And me personally, I started losing passion for photography itself. Like it was just like one of those things that we were just doing it as a job.
Right.
And and for the from 2020 till what
2024,
like
2025-ish. Yeah.
we were just getting by.
Yeah.
We were just getting by.
We
Like
were very comfortable.
we weren't showing up as much on social media. We
Right.
weren't like just doing the things that we used to do when we first started.
Yeah.
Like that passion really wasn't there.
Yeah.
And we just honestly got to the point that I even considered getting another job because bookings were low.
Yeah.
Our
Very low.
income dropped drastically.
Yeah.
So it was to a point that honestly at that point we were just depending on God. Like,
Yeah.
and he kept providing for us.
Absolutely.
But it was just one of those things that we're like, "Oh, so what's next? What do we do?"
Yeah.
You know, so
It was, it wasn't really like there was some very hard conversations that we had in 2024 and even beginning of 2025 of like, is one of us going to have to go back to working a full-time job?
Totally.
And even like he was looking and he was like, what if you made, and I was like, I can't go back to teaching. Like, I'm not, that's not my passion anymore. He's like, what about substitute teaching? Like we were having these conversations of like, honey, like we are not sure how we're going to pay the mortgage. And like he mentioned, I mean, God always came through. Like, honestly, it was a beautiful season of really leaning into him. But in self-reflection, we had also lost a lot of that like fire or excitement for our business. We still loved weddings, and when we went to the weddings, we still loved what we did. We still served our couples well.
right, of course.
But the back end of like the business, the marketing, we were like womp womp. That's like the only. It's like the only way I could explain it. It was just you know, and mix in obviously like 2 kids. Like we had our first daughter in 2019, our second daughter in 2021. So like right in that whole season, it was like raising babies, having newborns. Like, you know, toddler, newborn, and then toddler, and it was just like a lot.
Yeah.
And again, they're not the excuse, but it was just that whole like, I guess you'd call it a perfect storm of like just losing our fire that we had for all those years previous. And then obviously with losing that fire, the finances kind of went, they plummeted a little bit. We were getting, you know, we got really nervous at that point when we started having those discussions of like, what is this next year going to look like? Like, what do we need to, what's going on?
Yeah, no, I totally hear that. It's so interesting you say that because I think a lot of people who've been in the industry as long as you guys have, they come across that place too, where they think, I've been doing this so long. Why do I do it? I feel like you've seen one wedding, you've seen them all, maybe. Like, I just don't know why, you know, I want to get up in the morning and do this. And it feels like you can really get stagnant and really bored with the work. And then even like when you have kids, like that massively transforms your lifestyle. And that gives you so many new responsibilities and even points of stretching in your life that you never thought you'd get. And so I totally hear it. Like that's like a very relevant thing for a lot of people that I think a lot of people will relate to. And so what was that turning point for you? What do you feel like was maybe a missing piece for you, or maybe something that made differences in your business at that point, whether it was like 2025 or, and I'm just asking because I'm like, when was it? How was it?
I mean, I think we had a really big like reality check before we went ahead and invested in the business blueprint because we, like I said, I had a teaching background. Neither one of us studied business, knew about business. And at that point we were like, okay, we know our skill as far as like photography, like the skill itself. We're strong. We know what we're doing. We felt our client experience was still really good because we still got raving reviews from our couples, but there was a disconnect when it came to like business and what we had to do in order to start making money and really reviving our business. So when we pulled the trigger essentially and purchased the business blueprint, we were looking around for like, okay, we need to do some sort of coaching when it comes to business. Like the business of being a wedding photographer.
Right.
Yeah.
We didn't need like the style shoots. At least we felt we didn't need the style shoots. We didn't need like skill, like how to use flash. Like we knew all that. We needed the back end stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what really we were struggling with. And, you know, we tried figuring it out on our own and it was not working clearly because it just kept plummeting and bookings kept getting lower and lower. And we were like, something's off, like something's happening. So I think we got to a point of the reality check of like, I think it was I'd probably say end of 2024, we were like, okay, for 2025, we need to invest in something. And we were looking into different programs, we were looking into different things, but then I felt like once I started researching and looking into different coaching things,
Mm-hmm.
when we saw the business blueprint, it just felt right. Like we felt
Mm.
connected to it. We were looking at investing into something else. And then when I saw, like, I know it sounds not shady, but when I saw the life of the photographer itself that was putting on this thing, it
Mm.
was somebody that was didn't align with our values. And I won't go
Mm.
into details,
Mhm.
but it just didn't align with our overall values as
Sure.
people, as humans, as believers. Like it was like, I don't know, like it just
Mm.
doesn't align. And then we found the business blueprint, and we just felt like we really aligned with like the core values of it,
Mm.
what it was, what you were teaching and sharing. And I was like, okay, that clicks. I need that. We need that. We need that. We
Mm.
need that. We need that. Like that's the areas that we were missing. So
Mm.
the biggest, I feel like, turning point was when we purchased the business blueprint and just kind of said, let's do it. Like, let's go all in. Let's do everything he says to do. And let's just go for it.
Which is so cool to hear that, like I, especially as a coach, as the creator of the program, like I can't force people to do anything. Like, and purchasing it really does nothing for people. It's like, it's only if you apply yourself. It's only if you get in there. And I know this is why I'm so excited to have you guys here, because I know how present you have been in the program. And I know like you so often come to coaching calls in the past year with so many questions, and not only just like questions of like, oh, it's tiny little tweak question, but you come with thoughtful, deep, insightful questions that is like, okay, let's pick through this together, which is
Yeah.
so growth oriented. And I absolutely love that. And you always have great energy about everything that you guys do. And I've told you that before. And I think that's a big reason why a lot of people like working with you too, is because that energy you have is infectious. So
Thanks.
I am actually just curious though, what are some of those values that you would say, this really resonated with the way we want to run our business and the way that we think business should be, or the way that we serve our clients, or anything like that? What do you feel like that is for you guys?
Well, I think with as far as like values, like we're believers. So we very much have him present in our business. Like
Sure.
Yeah.
it's one of those things that like we pray before every wedding that we shoot. Obviously,
Yeah.
we continually pray for our business,
Mhm.
for God to bring the right couples, and we share those values pretty publicly on social media and
Totally.
on our website. Like
Good
we
for
talk
you.
about it, and those values, as far as like on not only being believers but serving our couples well,
Right.
loving on them, showing at the end of the day, we want them to see in us what it's like to have a marriage that's centered in
Wow.
God, that's centered in,
Wow.
that relationship that we have with, our Heavenly Father. And that's what we want people to see when they interact with us as people,
Absolutely.
like see His joy in us, because He really is our source for all that. So
Mhm.
I feel like when it came to purchasing, and investing in the business blueprint, sorry, we saw that a lot of those values that we share, you share.
Mhm.
And then obviously everything that you start teaching in it about like serving couples and, your brand and your marketing and all that stuff, and being vocal about who you are as a person, that was really like resonated with us, because we're like, yeah, we don't want to stay quiet and people not know that we're believers, or
Mhm.
not know that these are our values, or not know that this is what we love, and I feel like it was so great to have somebody that encouraged us to like be ourselves. And
Yeah.
because we are, I mean, me a little bit more than him, high energy and just like really, kind of out there.
Yeah.
So instead of telling us, dim your light, you were like, go for it, like bring that out there. So that was like really just special for us and for me to see that that was kind of something that was encouraged. It wasn't like be a cookie cutter person like everybody else, but be
Right.
yourselves, show that. And then through all those coaching calls, you were like, showcase this energy, showcase yourselves, showcase this, showcase that. And I'm like, okay, yeah, let's do it.
Exactly.
Do it.
Let's showcase our.
And you got, I mean,
personalities.
people listening to this episode, I really do think they're going to understand that you two have beautiful personalities, and even the way you like feed off of each other, I think is a beautiful thing too. And that is something that I do think in the photography world, especially when you're working weddings, people like to be around that because you know they're celebrating a really special moment of their life.
Yeah.
They're
Of course,
celebrating
yeah.
their future marriage. They're celebrating
Mhm.
their family and their friends. And when you can enter that ecosystem and not just be this fly in the wall or this bump on the log in the corner, but you can actually
Yeah.
contribute to that, they want to have you there, right? Like that. I've
Yeah.
been in certain scenarios. I don't know if you guys have been where I've been like part of another wedding and I'm not the photographer. Maybe I'm in the wedding, and you know, like you can work with a photographer or any professional where you're just like, oh, I don't feel like they want to be here, and or you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
or the
Yeah.
Yeah.
bridal party energy is like up here, and the person who's working with you, they just feel like this dark rain cloud. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then it just
Yeah.
kind of poisons everything. And so
Yeah.
when you guys have the
Yeah.
opposite of that, when you can match the energy of people, when you can make things exciting for people, I do believe that there is so much power in that. And that's why I tell you guys things like, I mean, even we'd worked on your website many times, and I'm like, I want to see more Kristi and Vic on the page. I want to see more of you guys in the copy. I would love to see more of you guys even in video, because what that does is it connects you with actual people instead of just saying Kristi and Vic have cool photos, which you do.
Yeah.
It's also saying Kristi and Vic in and of themselves are a beautiful experience to just be around. And I think that is what one of your guys' biggest assets is. So you should be proud of that.
Thank you.
And
Thank you. Thank you.
I'd love for you guys to kind of tell people, let's keep going with your story. Was there something, I mean, I know some wins you guys had from last year, but tell us a little bit of things that you consider wins from the past year of 2025 and how it all rounded out. Like, where are you guys at now?
Well, I would say we pretty much doubled our income.
Wow.
Yep.
Pretty much doubled.
From 2024.
Yes.
And
Because we joined the business blueprint in May of 2025.
yes,
Mhm.
And I would say we started implementing the things in
that you were teaching.
June, essentially, like really when we, it was end of May. So we started implementing everything in June.
Yeah.
So in those 6 months, essentially, of doing things with the business blueprint, we pretty much doubled our income from the previous year.
Yeah.
So in
Mind
2024,
blowing. Doubled.
yeah, we from 2024 to 2025, we doubled our income essentially because
Wow.
we started implementing everything starting in June. So we didn't
Yeah.
even have a full year of the business blueprint. It was just 6 months of it, and it was like it exploded
And I
like
think-
a good way.
Cool.
Hmm.
Obviously, besides what you teach, which it was great for us. Like
Absolutely.
us
What we
implementing
needed.
those things, like the sales and all that stuff was great. But I think the main thing was that passion that
Yeah.
just came back,
Yeah.
and that fire that
Mhm.
was no longer there
Yeah.
for some time.
Yeah.
It was just like we felt like we were starting over
Fresh.
again, like fresh from how
Mm.
kind of like how when we
Yeah.
first started, we had that passion that we
Yeah.
just want to go and run with it.
Yeah.
That's what happened to us.
Yeah.
And
So cool.
like we were
Lit a fire.
we were so excited that we even made a new website because we're like, let's do
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
let's change it, let's just start all over again, pretty
Right.
much.
Mm.
And so that passion came back, and with that, obviously implementing what you taught us, it was
Mhm.
just the perfect fit. Like it was just
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
So-
Absolutely. And what's really cool about
Yeah.
that too is those things often coincide. When you're excited
Mhm.
about something, people
Yeah.
feel that. And I do think that it attracts more customers and it attracts better customers because they're like, I want to be part of this person because they're excited about what they do. Like I never
Yeah.
give up an opportunity to tell clients that I
Mm.
love what I do. Cause I'm like, I
Yeah.
do. Like I love what I
Mhm.
do, and I need you to know
Yeah.
that you don't have just some you don't have a professional who's just doing it because it's like a paycheck. Like
Mhm.
I
Right.
wake up every morning and I actually love this job. And I need you to know that. And that's something that I think people, again, they want to be a part of something like that.
Mhm.
Can you, I would just be really curious because there's going to be people listening who I know they'll resonate with the side of your story of you've been in it for so long. How do you reignite that flame? Is there any advice you guys would give I don't even know where it would begin, but just some sort of advice you guys would give of, hey, if you feel stuck in your business, like you've just been doing it for so long and you feel like you're just going through the motions and you lost that mojo, how do you restoke those flames within you?
Purchase a business blueprint. Plug.
Done.
Done. No, I mean, I would say invest in coaching.
Sure.
Invest in the areas that you maybe
Are
are weak in,
struggling
are
or-
struggling in.
Totally.
You know, take your weaknesses and invest in someone that can see it, that can point it out, that can call out the best in you,
Yeah.
and bring out that what was once, because when you're on the inside, it's like kind of hard to get yourself out of your own rut, if that makes sense.
Totally. Yep.
Like you're just like wallowing there and you're like, how do I fix it? But getting someone on the outside that can say, hey, here are your weak spots. Let's fix this. Let's fix that. Let's, point and essentially point out the things that you need help with and then tell you how to do it. Right. Because nobody wants somebody that just points it out. Like, hey, you got to fix that, but figure it out on your own,
Yeah.
But essentially somebody that can point it out and say, okay, here's how we fix it. Here's how we, so investing in coaching in the area that you're struggling in, I think is the biggest thing. And
Yeah, I mean, if you're trying something over and over again and nothing is changing, then it's time to do something different.
right.
Wow.
Whether it's investing in coaching, whether it's maybe
Workshops
in
or
workshops, it
mentoring.
obviously depends where you are in your business, but just you have to try something different, because if the same thing is not working, then it's time to look for something else.
Yeah.
As far as like inspiration or just work on your business and your craft or whatever the case may be.
And especially if you've been in the industry for a long time, like we have, like specifically those people that have been here for a long time, sometimes it's really discouraging that you see all these like newcomers that they're like coming in and they're like, I booked 40 weddings. And you're like, wait, what? Hold on. Like, it's kind of like this whole like, and you're like, oh my gosh. Or you go into these Facebook groups and you're like, wow, there's like thousands of photographers just in my area. So sometimes seeing that and starting to play that comparison game
I was going to say that.
can put a damper on you. And sometimes even, something as simple as unplugging from
social media
for a little bit, taking, rest days, implementing a weekly Sabbath was something that absolutely changed our business in the most amazing way. And
tell me about it.
So we have a weekly Sabbath, again, because we are believers, and biblically it says, if the God who created the universe rested a day, like I can do the same, right? And literally it says it all the time, how, a Sabbath is good for us. And, in the Bible, it just talks about it a lot.
Yeah.
So we started implementing a weekly Sabbath. So for us, every Tuesday, we unplug. We don't get on social media. I don't answer emails from sun up to sundown. We don't do any of that. We don't talk about work. We don't focus on work. We just take a day to rest physically. I mean, we have kids, so there's only so much resting you actually do. I'm not like laying on the couch all day.
From business.
Right.
From business.
Your kids also take a complete break too, and they don't bother you at all, and they feed themselves and they dress themselves.
The most energetic,
and then we wake up, right?
Yeah. The most energetic 6-year-old who does not stop. But we rest our minds and we rest our spirits and our souls, and like we take time together and we read the word and we pray and we read our Bibles together, and we kind of just disconnect from the noise of this world, the noise of social media, the noise of being a business owner, because it's true what they say. You stop working a 9 to 5 to work a 24/7, right?
If you're not
careful.
careful.
So as business owners, it's an amazing thing for us to be able to just completely unplug. And it's really has been another thing that has truly like revitalized our business, because then we come back the next day, like, and we're just ready and gung-ho and like, let's go, let's do it. Because we had that one day to kind of decompress and just, breathe them in and pray and ask the Holy Spirit to move and speak. And, and it's been really a game changer for us.
Beautiful. And it's very well said, you guys. I even think too, like part of it is a sacrifice. That I think for me, it's also like, this is a sacrifice, Lord, of like, I'm going to sacrifice what I could do on this day, because I could
Mhm.
Right.
potentially get ahead
Yep.
with an extra day of the week, because there are other people that, they work the 7 days. And so ultimately it seems like, oh, they'd get ahead of me, but I'm like, I'm going to sacrifice this to you.
Mhm.
And then I'm also just going to give this to you out of trust, saying,
Yeah.
Of
I
course.
will trust you that
Yep.
either I don't need this day, or if I did need what I could have done that day, you'll make up the difference. You know?
100%.
And so
Of
I
course.
believe that whole idea and mentality of we are built to work, but we are also built to rest is a
Yep.
beautiful thing. And I do think that's interesting that that also coincides with when you doubled your income. Like, that doesn't make sense, but it does.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense to me. So I love that you guys said that. And I do think, especially with people who've been in the industry for a long time, who maybe
Mhm.
feel a little bit of burnout, rest is one of the most healing things, especially if you can add it
Absolutely.
in weekly, because it
Absolutely.
is what our bodies and our minds need.
Mhm.
So tell me a little bit about, like, do you feel in any way like your lifestyle has been impacted by the way that you've been able to change your business up? And like, how has this actually changed things for you? Do you feel less inclined of like worry, or, those urges to get a job, get another job or something like that? Like, anything along those lines. How has this impacted your personal life at all?
I think the main thing is we just feel more freedom now.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Like we don't feel like we're stuck to necessarily a system
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
or like of doing things in a certain way. But
Right.
first is putting our trust in the Most High, like 100%. It's the best thing we've ever done.
Right.
Hmm.
Because a lot of times we say we're gonna do this or we're gonna put him first, but at the end of the day, we really don't.
Right.
We put our trust in our business or in our own abilities,
Yeah.
and for us, it's been just letting go. Like obviously, we put up the work,
Yeah.
but
Right.
then just our focus and our priority is no longer our business; it's him.
Mhm.
And through that, then he kind of like guides us
Yeah.
to certain things. And I feel like just that, and not only that, but financially,
Yeah.
going back to this, is we just feel like that more freedom, because before it was just like, how are we gonna make it? How are we gonna come up with
There was a lot of like stress, and
right?
thankfully like we have open communication between
Mhm.
each other, so that it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
like affecting us and our
Sure.
relationship, but it
Yeah.
Right.
was affecting our peace. I would say
Correct.
we were both like
Yeah.
like we're like, okay, we trust you, but like help, like
Mm-hmm.
one of those things of like, Father, we trust you, but help,
Yeah.
please, fast. And I
Mm-hmm.
think it's also alleviated that burden of like, let's discount so we can just book this wedding,
Right.
or let's pick up whatever session because and finding that like breathing room, like it feels
Mm-hmm.
like we can breathe again almost, and
Mm-hmm.
just enjoy
Mm-hmm.
our time together, like we're enjoying our business again,
Yeah.
Right.
we're
Yeah.
enjoying the couples that we're booking because they're more
Yeah.
aligned to like who we are, because we've been
Yeah.
showcasing ourselves more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just
100%.
been,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just alleviated so much of our personal, like you said, the worry, like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, we're good, like we're,
Yep.
obviously you could always do more, you could always be more, you could always make more,
Sure.
but there's so much peace even where we're at of
Mhm.
like, okay, we have X amount of weddings for this year. We know we're booking more. We've got
Mm-hmm.
inquiries like flowing in. So it's
Yep.
not that like, where's that inquiry? Like we have no inquiries, we have no bookings, there that fear and that worry and that
Yep.
anxiety
Yep.
has like diminished, and
Yeah.
it's just really allowed us to live our lives, like he said, with more freedom, more
Beautiful.
Yep.
calm, peace, I guess you
Yeah.
could say.
And confidence
Beautiful.
too.
Confidence, yes.
Yeah.
You're
I
right.
know.
It has.
That kind of stuff it makes all the difference. Like, it's a lot of head stuff, it's a lot of mindset stuff, and it's a lot of
Yes.
the way that you
Absolutely,
feel
yeah.
about it. But it does make a difference in every single thing that we do. If you feel that way about your business, it just makes everything else easier. Would you guys say that when you get a client, because you said something about like, oh, I feel like our clients are more aligned. So do you feel like, because you're able to share more of your personal brand and your personalities, that when you get with a couple, whether you're working with them or you're on a call, do you feel like they're a little bit more cued in on like, oh, I know who Kristi and Vic are a little bit better?
Yeah, I would say yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
When we were like we mentioned, before, pre-COVID, pre-kids, when we were like what we would consider it's still at like a high in our business, we were very personable.
Yeah.
We were all over social media. We were on our, like, it was a lot about us, and our bookings were higher. Then, like we said, we kind of lost our mojo.
And we just stopped showing up.
We stopped showing up.
Social media.
We stopped showing up on social media. Our website was like, well, bland, whatever, like just normal, I guess you could say, not really injected with our personality, if you will. And that's when like the booking started declining. So now that we're putting our personality more in our brand, I would say that our brides coming to us, like we've had a handful or more of brides that are like, so I'm meeting with you because we're gonna book you. Like I'm not even asking another photographer. Like
It's so
this is
cool.
it. So we're doing this call to just kind of like talk about the pricing, go over it, you know, whatever. But like it's you, okay?
Yeah.
And we're like,
I
yay,
love
like,
that.
this is great. You know, and those are brides that are like super aligned, and like it's the best thing because they're even like in our inbox on Instagram, like, oh my gosh, I love this wedding, I can't wait for our day. Oh my gosh, you guys are the best, I love this, blah blah blah. Oh, I knew I picked the right photographers, and we're like, oh yay, like this is amazing. And it just came with like showing up and being ourselves again, coming back to that place after we, you know, did the business blueprint and all the coaching calls where you were like, put yourself out there, put yourselves out there again. And that encouragement of like, you know, showcase your personalities and your energy. Then it became, okay, let's do it. And then that started bringing brides that aligned with us and just kind of were like, we want you guys. So just tell us where to sign, you know,
Pays off. It all
which
pays
is the
off.
best thing ever.
But I will say this. I mean, how many kids do you guys have? Okay, so you guys have 2 kids. You said one of them gives you a run for your money a little bit. How do you navigate that? How do you navigate whether it's showing up on social media or marketing yourself at all? Because I know a lot of parents, they feel like when they get to that place where they have kids, on the one hand, their kids take up a lot of their time and a lot of their structure to work in their business. And then number 2, they also feel like, well, I'm not cool and hip anymore to be on social media because like my kids are going to be in the background, or like I'm like a mom, or I'm like a dad, and that's not like Gen Z cool anymore. So what would you say to that? Because I'm just curious how you navigate all of those dynamics.
I mean, everything that you just said, it has gone through our heads too.
Yeah.
And there will be times where like, well,
how many stories of our daughters can we put up?
I don't want them to be our brand. Like,
sure.
Like, this is not Emma and Sammy. It's Kristi and Vic.
But I feel like it's true what he said. Everything you said, we've thought. So everybody who's thinking that's hearing this, 100% valid, because you're like, wait, I have kids now. Like, it does change the structure of your life. It does change your priorities. But also it adds fuel to the fire of like, I'm going to show them that this is what can be done. I am going to show them what it's like to own your own business. And I think a big thing that we do is we do have our girls on social media. It's not all about them, but we as parents, and again, everyone is different. Some people don't want to show their kids on social media. They don't want to put their faces, which is like, again, every parent has their own prerogative and they do whatever they feel is best. And as a parent, that's what we're all doing. We're all just doing our best.
Right.
And I think at the end of the day, we just try our best to navigate the ins and outs of having children and running a business, and the fact that we run it together. Because there are other photographers that they're like, oh yeah, my husband maybe works full time and they're, it's just the girl doing it, or vice versa. But I think navigating it is setting those boundaries for, and we have, our girls are older. They're, not super old, but 6 and 4. And we do tell them like, hey, mommy and daddy are working right now.
So they can understand that.
So they can understand.
Right. Yeah.
When they were little, it was a lot of nap time stuff, after bedtime stuff. Honestly,
it's like they go to bed and you're like,
they're answering emails like a maniac after we go to bed. And then it's kind of working, and I feel like also you give yourself grace for seasons that you're in.
That's
like I can't compare our lives now to when I had a newborn and a 2-year-old. That it's not the same. Like a newborn is demanding all your attention and all that. And I had grace for myself, and
Mm-hmm.
he had grace for me in that period of time. And then now that they're older, it's easier. We still work, like most of our consult calls are after our girls go to bed, because that's what works for us.
Right.
Totally.
You know, we
Mhm.
we hired a babysitter to come. Like, that's why we're able to talk right now, because our 4-year-old is with the babysitter. She's playing out there outside. Our 6-year-old is in a homeschool program, but she's at her co-op today.
Mhm.
So we kind of just adjust it and make it work.
Mhm.
As far as being relevant, our clients and our couples have like see our girls, and they'll like comment. They're like, "Oh my gosh, your girls are so cute." Or if
Yeah.
they've been with us for a while, they're like, "They're getting so big." Like, I remember when our daughters were born, they would send us gifts for our children. Like,
Mm.
that's the kind of like relationship that we've built with our
Mhm.
couples, that have allowed our girls to still be part of our lives and our brand, and showing up and like showing them on social media, where our couples
Mm.
have never ever said anything or minded. As a matter of fact, they've like celebrated the fact that we have kids, and we think they think all these things.
Mhm.
Like in our own heads, we're like, "Oh, I have kids, it doesn't make me relevant anymore." But that's
That
actually been the opposite for us. They're like,
Yeah.
"I
that's not.
love your kids. They're so cute. Oh my gosh, you have a daughter." Like, I feel like it
Yeah. I mean, those are all lies that we tell ourselves. Like,
Mhm.
oh, they're gonna see us
100%.
different, or
Right.
this or that. But at the end of the day, they just want someone that is genuine, and
Yeah.
someone that is
Yeah.
real. Like, you're showing up, and they want to see the passion in you, like
Yeah.
you said. And at the end of the day, really, that's what matters. It's not
Mm.
who I'm showing, like with my families on social media.
Right.
It's not
Mm.
that. I don't think that
Yeah.
affects anything at all. Even though we used to
Yeah.
tell that to ourselves
We did tell
before, like,
ourselves
oh,
that.
what are we gonna post now?
Yeah.
Right.
We don't want everything to be all of our girls, but yeah,
Right.
that's
And we've all
So we
been
still
there. We've all
sprinkle.
thought
Yeah.
that of like, oh well, what if I share this part of my life, or what if I
Mhm.
is it cool enough or whatever? And the reality
Yeah.
is,
Right.
if it's not something that speaks to some specific person, okay, that's fine. I'm not
Yeah.
for them then. But like
Exactly.
my audience is gonna that the people that are gonna resonate with me, they're gonna be they're going to enjoy what I have to share, and I'm not going to
Yeah.
hide my children, or I'm not going to hide this big part of my life just because I don't think it's worthy enough to be shared. To me, that if
Right.
anything, when I feel like people are hiding something because they think it's not cool enough, that's when I'm always like, "Ugh, it doesn't feel like a real human." But when someone shares something that's real,
Right.
I'm like,
Yeah.
that's what I want to see. That's what really connects me to you. And I mean, yeah, it's good that you guys are doing it. I love it.
Yeah, and I mean, I think they like our girls more than us sometimes. They'll be like, "Oh my gosh, look at Emma, they're so cute," and I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
well, but they are cute." But
You're like, okay, I mean, if you want more of this content, I guess.
right? I'm like, "Here you go. This is what they do."
You're like, this is
what
our
we do."
real life over here.
It is, and I feel like in the age of AI, like, it's actually so great to have realness on social media and on your website. Like it's wild out there.
Yep. It
It's
really
a jungle
is.
out there.
The more personal you can be in this age, I do believe the more you will stay ahead of the curve, because everything's gonna get
Yeah.
fake and already is. Okay,
Yeah.
100%,
guys, thank you
yes.
for being here. I just want to give you one
Thank
last, like, if there's anything we haven't yet talked about, okay? I want to know if you could sit yourself down for a coaching call and give yourselves, let's say a year ago or 2 years ago, one last parting word. Not literally one word, but like one last word of advice from each of you. What would it be?
To our former selves?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a deep one.
And it can be mainly related to what we're talking about here, kind of like the business of everything.
Yeah.
Just anything along those lines.
I guess I would tell myself like that it gets better. Like, it will get better again. If I'm
Mhm.
looking back like 1 or 2 years ago,
Mm.
which was a rough season for us, I guess I would tell myself it'll get better. Like, you haven't lost your spark, I guess, or your spark will come back, essentially. Because
Love that.
1 to 2 years ago was not, it was, a trying season for us.
Well, it was a season.
It was a season.
That's how we see it. It was a season.
It was a season
but
where we needed it. I feel like we kind of needed it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, everything happens for a reason. But
Right.
for another thing for me is, I would say, stop comparing yourself to others. Especially through social media, it's really easy to just compare yourself to other people's or newcomers or things like that, or even new, in our case, even new styles.
Yes.
They are not our style.
Yes.
They are maybe more popular right now.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Because trust me, there will be times that I'm like, should we change our style?
Right.
Should we change our
Our editing.
editing?
Yeah.
Should we? And maybe that will bring more bookings.
Yep.
I don't. It had nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing
And it's
to do with that
true.
at all.
It's true, that whole message of don't compare yourself. Like, social media is a rough place to compare yourself, because you're only comparing yourself to curated versions of people. It's
Of
not
course.
actually
Yeah.
even real people. Like, it's not good to compare to even real people, but like social media is
Yeah.
even worse because it's not even real. So it's just, but you guys, those are beautiful, beautiful words. Tell us where we can find you guys on social media, on your website, so people can go connect with you.
Kristi and Vic on our Instagram at Kristi and Vic, Kristi with a K. And then our website
It's
is
just Kristi and Vic?
Yeah.
Just
Dang, you guys
Kristi
got
and
that
Vic.
handle. That's nice. That's slick.
It's just us. You know, funny thing, I actually thought about adding photo after, but then I was like, you know what? No, this works.
I'd keep Kristi and
us.
Vic.
Kristi and Vic.
It's us.
Yeah.
You keep
And
it
then
simple, right?
Yes, and our website is kristiandvic.com.
Good for you guys. I love that. That's so cool that no one else. I thought it would have been like Kristi and Vic photography, because maybe Kristi and Vic would have already been taken, but that's so cool.
Nope.
I love it.
I guess 13 years
Absolutely
ago.
love it.
There was no Kristi and Vic.
13 years ago.
Yeah,
there
when you
was
start
Kristi and Vic.
13 years ago, you get some first dibs on some things.
Yes.
Even though we've been called Vicky and Chris sometimes, we're like,
Yes.
okay.
You're like, nope, let's flip that around.
No, it's not Vicky and Chris.
Oh my word, that's amazing. You guys, thank you for being here. It has been such a
Thank you
pleasure
for
to talk
having
with you
us.
today. And I'm just so cheering you guys on and so blessed to have you be part of this community. And yeah, just thank you guys for sharing your story.
Thank you
Thank
for having
you.
us and being our coach and just investing so much into us and always speaking life into us. It really has changed everything for us, for our business as people, and it's just been a wonderful experience.